writing campaign up in the Klein School District for the Sunshine Award. Don't miss that. Coming up.
And if you think you know someone who deserves a Sunshine Award, it's very easy to nominate them. Just send the information to sunshineawards@click2houston.com, and then we look forward to you joining us every morning on Local 2 today from 5 to 7.
Now, Local 2 AccuWeather, your clear and accurate forecast from Anthony Yanis, endorsed by the National Weather Association.
Okay, so I bet you're wondering if you should make any weekend plans outside. Here's the man with the answer.
You know, I say yes because it's just a chance of rain, but don't be surprised if the weekend is incredibly wet. We got radar out here. Wes went out to Kuehnle Elementary School, the home of the koalas, fit as a fiddle, and Radar has just been having a great time wearing that shirt. Of course, that's Monday's Sunshine Award, and he got a little badge, an honorary student over there, even though he is just a dog. Let's go ahead and take a look at our forecast. Or actually, we're going to start with a beautiful sunset picture of Lake Livingston. This is Kickapoo Creek. Jim Thompson sent this in, and just incredible. I love just the colors and everything. So even though it's been very hot on Tuesday, he captured this picture. Here's a look at our forecast. It's finally going to be cooler. We're going to be out of the 90s, the mid-80s at lunchtime with a 30% chance of rain, and much of the same for tonight and tomorrow morning. Otherwise, currently, Bush Intercontinental, we're at 90. That's a record. 86 in Hobby, 84 on the island. Humidity, not as bad, and the dew point not as bad as yesterday with the south wind coming in at 9 miles per hour, making it feel only like 93 degrees. Here's a look at our overnight lows for tonight. 76 here in Houston, 71, a little cooler up to the north, 73 in Huntsville, 74 in College Station. Tomorrow, we're going to warm up to the upper 80s and some lower 80s also with this front starting to move in. Lufkin 80, Livingston 82 degrees, Conroe 85, and finally, it looks like for us here in Houston, we're going to be in the upper 80s. Here's a look at that cold front that's pushing in some moisture, pushing in some rain into the central part of Texas. We're going to watch this front because Saturday afternoon it is going to be northwest of Houston. So our best chance of rain tomorrow, the further north and the further west you go of Houston. For Sunday, this front is going to turn into a stationary front and pull just a little bit to north. So our best chance of rain will be the further north you go of Houston. I really think the island's going to have beautiful weather this weekend if you're going to be heading out down there. And then by Monday, this front is going to turn into a warm front push to the north, and we get much of the same what we've had all week long. Hot, humid conditions as it pulls in this warm tropical air mass back into southeast Texas. So putting it all together, here's what it looks like for our futurecast. 88, a pair of 88s for this weekend with a 40 and 30% chance of getting in some rain showers. Things start to dry out on Monday, and just here is hopefully, we can keep our fingers crossed for this, some good news. A possible cool front that could come in a week from today.
Thank you, Anthony. Hopefully we get that cool front quickly.
Hopefully. 7 days isn't quite quick enough with the heat we've been having, though.
All right, thank you, Anthony. Let's check with Don Armstrong in traffic challenges. Don?
And boy, we got them this afternoon out there all around town in various sectors of our...
It was quiet for a while, and then it started again. Bam, 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 every morning and night.
Sorry, guys. They got a new flavor.
Try to keep it down.
That's it?
What?
Imagine a dental plan that kicks it up another notch. Crest Whitening Expressions, now in refreshing vanilla mint. A smooth vanilla flavor with a cool kick of mint.
Bam! You see?
Crest Whitening Expressions, new refreshing vanilla mint. Part of the Crest Dental Plan for healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
The anticipation. The excitement. The moments of a lifetime. Revlon, the Get Ready Holiday Collection. Create your own moments at RevlonOnTheRedCarpet.com.
How sweet it is. Today's destination wedding. And the next decision will really test your good taste. The wedding cake. Log on and vote by tomorrow at noon.
Brazil has successfully launched its first rocket into space. The blast-off took place this weekend, putting the country a step closer to becoming Latin America's first space power. Brazil's space program suffered a tragic setback when an accident killed 21 space agency employees just 14 months ago. And a first for China, as one of Spain's most famous traditions makes its way to Asia. Hundreds were on hand for China's first bullfight. The event featured Spanish matadors, bulls imported from Mexico, and Spanish dancing. The bullfights were like any other, with one exception. No bulls were killed in the ring. Following a Spanish tradition, the audience was given white towels to wave, a signal to spare the bull's life. Miss Brazil is this year's new Miss Earth. The Philippine pageant, open to women from around the world, has unusual requirements. The Miss Earth pageant calls on candidates to be aware of environmental problems faced by their countries. During their stay, contestants take part in projects like picking up beach trash, doing farm work, as well as planting trees. Now, there's a pageant you can be proud of.
You really get in there and get your hands dirty. That's something.
And you don't just talk about making a change, you make a change.
Make it happen.
Excellent. Well, time now for an early look at some of the stories we'll follow throughout the day here on NBC. In the battle for the White House, both candidates are looking for help from some big-name politicians today. Former President Clinton campaigns with Senator John Kerry, and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani campaigns with President Bush. The average U.S. retail price of gasoline is at its highest level since June, according to a leading industry analyst. In the past 2 weeks, it rose to more than 5 cents to more than $2 a gallon. We'll keep you informed. And today, the National Transportation Safety Board begins its investigation into a plane that crashed on its way to a NASCAR race in Virginia, killing all 10 on board. All day long, you can stay on top of the very latest developments in those stories and others as they break on MSNBC. And tonight, be sure to watch Tom Brokaw with NBC Nightly News. And finally, here's a look at what's coming up later this morning on the Today Show. Katie Couric will have an exclusive interview with Democratic presidential nominee Senator John Kerry about the final week in the race for the White House. Plus, NBC national correspondent Jamie Gangel will speak with Vice President Dick Cheney about his push to secure a second term. Now, keep it on this channel for continuing local news, weather, sports, and more. I'm Bill Fitzgerald. Thanks for watching Early Today. Just your first stop of the day today on your NBC station. Have a great one.
IW Marks showcases all the finest collections of famous Swiss watches in all steel, steel and gold, or 14 and 18 karat solid gold. From chronographs for the sportsman to fine dress or diamond watches for the most elegant occasion. Expert service is always provided by our on-site Swiss-trained technicians. For yourself or as a gift, what can be better than a fine watch from IW Marks? Come see us. We're at 3841 Bel Air Boulevard at Stelllink inside Loop 610.
On September 30 of 2004, the manufacturer Vioxx announced a recall due to an increased risk of heart attack or stroke. If you or a loved one has taken Vioxx, you may be entitled to recover medical expenses, lost earnings, and compensation for pain and suffering. For persons who have died, the surviving spouse or other family members may bring a wrongful death action. Call the law office of Dean Bloomrosen now, or go to our online form at texasvioxx.com. The consultation and screening are free. Protect yourself and your family. Call now.
He's Radar, the weather dog, only on Local 2, where local news comes first.
Now, live, Local 2 today at 5 a.m.
New this morning, Harris County detectives are working on a murder mystery after one man is shot to death last night. We are live with the latest next.
And students in Alvin are heading to school with heavy hearts this morning, realizing that one of their classmates will not be coming back.
And after some showers over the weekend, things dry out for this work week, but they do not cool down. As you head outside, look for temperatures to be in the 80s again this afternoon. This morning, a few clouds, but it is dry. We have a 20% chance of rain in the forecast today. We start off around 74 degrees, but we'll finish not in the 90s, but in the upper 80s today.
Off to a quiet start for your Monday morning commute out there. Here's a virtual reality tour of 45, the Gulf Freeway, coming in past Hobby Airport, the Gulf Gate area, and the 610 South Loop. Heading up toward the U of H campus off Cullen Boulevard, 59, the East Tex Freeway, and onto the Pierce Elevated. All is green, meaning traffic moving delay-free north and southbound on 45. That's the case all over town. Off to a good start. That is your Time Saver traffic report. We have your weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s. Your next update at 5:12.
Our big story this morning, the brutal beating that left one man dead and his deputies now searching for answers.
It happened around 8:30 last night in the 15,000 block of Spencer Highway near Highway 6 in Northwest Harris County. Local 2 Today reporter Priscilla Kwan is live there now with what we know so far. Priscilla?
Cambrell, we're at the Copper Mill apartment complex, and this is where the beating death happened. Authorities already have one man in custody for this crime. This happened at that apartment unit behind me here at Copper Mill. Detectives left here about 20 minutes ago. The Harris County Sheriff's Department received the call at about 8:30 last night. When detectives arrived at the scene, they found 21-year-old Daniel Herrera's body inside. He was bludgeoned to death. Officers arrested Walter Grayson overnight. The Harris County Sheriff's Department says Grayson and Herrera were acquaintances. They say the two began arguing last night, and that's when authorities believe the beating began. This is still under investigation, and detectives say that Walter Grayson has confessed to this crime. We're live in Northwest Harris County. I'm Priscilla Kwan, Local 2 News.
Counselors will be on hand at one Alvin school this morning, helping students deal with a young life lost.
7-year-old Araceli Trevino had been missing for days until her body was found in a neighbor's pool on Saturday. An entire community honored the memory of that little girl with a somber service at South Park Baptist Church yesterday. Family and friends remember Araceli as a happy child with a caring spirit.
She was very sensitive too. Like, if she saw someone cry, she would cry too. She would bring her clinics, and she'd be like, "Don't cry." She'd always be like, "Don't cry, it's okay, Mama."
Police believe Araceli accidentally drowned in that pool and don't suspect foul play. An autopsy will be performed today to find the exact cause of her death.
An elderly woman accused of killing her landlord will also be in court for a jury trial today. 71-year-old Wanda McDonald is charged with murder. Authorities say that she shot and killed her landlord near the intersections of Cypress Wood and Kirkendall in April. It's believed the shooting took place over a dispute about a late rent payment.
We are now just 8 days away from the November election. This is the last full week of campaigning for the presidential candidates. Both President Bush and Senator John Kerry rallying to reach the voters. It could make a difference on November 2nd. NBC's Brooke Hart has the latest from Washington.
Today, both candidates look to make the best of their remaining week on the road. For John Kerry, that means stops today in 4 states. In Philadelphia, he'll be joined by former President Bill Clinton, his first campaign appearance since heart surgery last month. President Bush campaigns in Iowa and Colorado. Aides say he'll spend the days before the election projecting strength in the war on terrorism. But the president drew quick fire from his rival for this comment in an interview to air tonight on Fox News channels Hannity and Combs.
Whether or not we can be ever fully safe is up in the air.
Appearing on NBC's Dateline, John Kerry saw an opening.
He said he doesn't know if America will ever be safe. Well, I do know that America will be safe. Under my leadership, we won World War II. We won the Cold War. We know what we can do when we put our minds to it.
News from Iraq may loom large in the election's final days. The bodies of 49 Iraqi army recruits were found dead this weekend, shot execution style. The men were unarmed and going home on leave when guerrillas posing as a roadside checkpoint stopped their buses. Jordanian Abu Musab al-Zarqawi claimed responsibility. Both John Kerry and George Bush have said speedy training of Iraqi security forces are essential to stabilizing the country.
New polls again show a statistical tie. One interesting variable may be young Americans whose heavy reliance on cell phones has put them out of reach of pollsters. In Washington, Brooke Hart, NBC News.
Now, you just heard Senator John Kerry talking on NBC Dateline, saying that the nation would be better off in his hands. Now, this morning, he is guaranteeing that Americans are going to be more safe during an exclusive one-on-one interview with Katie Couric.
He said he doesn't know if America will ever be safe. Well, I do know that America will be safe under my leadership, because we're going to not allow 95% of American containers to come in uninspected.
But can you really, Senator, make that guarantee in all honesty?
Now, the Bush campaign is busy trying to get its message across to voters as well. In an exclusive Today Show interview, Vice President Cheney responded to accusations that the Bush campaign is trying to scare people.
I'm trying to have a debate here about what I think is a very serious proposition. We're not doing our jobs if we don't say to the American people, look, this is a global conflict. So What am I supposed to do? Run around the country say, don't worry about it, everything's fine, there's no threat. That'd be outrageous for me to do that.
Now you can see those exclusive interviews with Senator John Kerry and Vice President Dick Cheney on the Today Show, immediately following Local 2 Today, starting at 7 a.m.
Turning now to local politics, two candidates in the race for Houston's district attorney faced off in a hot debate. Local 2's troubleshooter Robert Arnold moderated the debate between current Harris County District Attorney Chuck Rosenthal and his opponent Reginald McCamey at the University of St. Thomas yesterday. The death penalty was a hot issue.
I can tell you, too, that not one single assistant district attorney or not one single district attorney has sent anyone to death row. Juries of their peers have made those decisions after hearing evidence, after hearing what someone does, in order to discern whether or not they committed the crime, and then to determine whether or not there will be a continuing threat to society.
We are no safer in Harris County, but we're spending literally millions of dollars each year trying capital murder cases. And the standard that the district attorney's office is using now is, if there's a chance of the jury determining the death penalty is appropriate, they're going to file for death penalty charges. That's not what we should be doing.
More information on the candidates and issues in your decision 2004. Check out Local2Houston.com and then click on the Politics tab before you head to the polls.
Time now is 5:07, 75 degrees outside.
There has been an off-track tragedy for one of the most prominent names in NASCAR. Coming up next, we'll tell you about the plane crash that killed the loved ones of NASCAR mogul Rick Hendrick.
And see the Milli Vanilli-like meltdown that has one pop star apologizing this morning. Ashley Simpson's SNL slip-up straight ahead.
The local newspaper partnership, exclusively from Houston Community Newspapers and Local 2 News.
Next all-new Ellen, the big showdown. Ellen takes on tennis great Serena Williams.
You're not running for him. Come on.
Plus, Seinfeld superstar from Listen Up, Jason Alexander.
Handsome devil.
All-new Ellen.
This morning at 10 on Local 2.
He's guided by values like hard work, loyalty, and perseverance. As majority leader, Tom DeLay works closely with President Bush to help set national priorities and works even harder for Texas families here at home. Whether it's homeland security in the Houston area, aggressive missions for Johnson Space Center, or improving foster care to protect children from abuse and neglect. The compassion to care, the strength to lead. Congressman Tom DeLay.
I'm Tom DeLay, and I've approved this message.
What would you change about your full-size truck? We can't change their trucks, so we're introducing ours, the new full-size Nissan Titan. Titan power, Titan interior space, Titan towing. Now get cash back or financing on Titan and make no payments until 2005. Nissan Titan. Change is good.
I do a lot of testing for my diabetes. And sure, there's pain, but you deal with it. These days, I'm dealing better. I switched to Freestyle Flash, and it's virtually pain-free. Virtually pain-free. Freestyle Flash uses the smallest sample of blood, 50 to 90% less than most meters. And Freestyle Flash is the world's smallest meter. If you have diabetes, you owe it to yourself to check out Freestyle Flash. It's virtually pain-free.
I could visually see me cutting his throat.
Fighting to survive postpartum depression.
No one talks about that.
Save people's lives by being...
Next, Dr. Phil.
Today at 3 on Local 2.
In a developing story this morning, the NASCAR community is in mourning after a deadly plane crash that killed 10 people. The plane, owned by racing mogul Rick Hendrick, crashed on its way to yesterday's NASCAR race. John Romero has more now on what investigators believe may have caused that plane to go down.
Fans laying flowers at the gate of Hendrick Motorsports, searching for answers.
Can't believe it. It's just devastating. Such a great race team.
Employees comforting each other in the barricaded parking lot, wondering what to do next.
Mourn and pray, and be there for each other, and then we just move on.
12:30 yesterday afternoon, the Hendrick Motorsports Beech 200 disappeared from the radar, trying to land at the tiny Blue Ridge Regional Airport outside of Martinsville. Among the 10 killed in the crash, John Hendrick, brother of Rick and president of the company, Ricky Hendrick, Rick's son and retired NASCAR driver. The crash site near Virginia's Bull Mountain, so remote crews were forced to mount their rescue on ATVs.
We had a state police helicopter in the area. It picked up on the transponder signal from the aircraft.
Team owner Rick Hendrick was not on board the flight, skipping the trip because he wasn't feeling well. His team fields some of NASCAR's best-known drivers, including Jeff Gordon.
But that's at the start-finish line.
His drivers at yesterday's Subway 500 not told of the crash until after the race. The winning car was one of Hendrick's and was allowed to skip the victory lane celebration. Back in Concord, employees covered the sign at the entrance of Hendrick Motorsports, waiting until nightfall when the team returned to the shop. Staff huddled like a family in mourning for 90 minutes, returning home, taking the condolences of the NASCAR family with them. Hendrick Motorsports did issue a statement early this morning asking for prayers, support, and also privacy in what they called a very difficult time. In Concord, North Carolina, I'm John Romero, NBC News.
The plane crashed into a mountain near the Martinsville airport, and investigators say that there was a low cloud ceiling when the plane crashed, but can't say if that actually played a role in the crash.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s.
It is 5:12, time for our first look at weather. And thank you, Wes. I know that the weekend for me was a total washout for Saturday, and that took out a lot of yard work. Thanks a lot.
You're very disappointed. Good news is it's going to be dry most of this work week, so those of you who did get rained out this weekend now have a chance to make up, but it's not going to cool off that much. A lot to talk about this morning. We started off with a visit to the Klein School District. And those would be the koalas up at Kuehnle Elementary School in the Klein ISD. A special good morning to them, and we'll introduce you to our Sunshine Award winner here in just a second. Going to keep things generally dry today. Only a 20% chance of rain, maybe a little pop-up shower here or there, but most of us are dry. 85 by lunchtime, 89 or so for your afternoon high, and temperatures falling down to 78 as we head off to bed tonight. And this morning, even though it's still warm outside, we are officially cooler than we were most of last week during the morning. Still around 80 degrees along the coast, but inland it is a little cooler. 73 here in Houston, 70 in Conroe. Keep in mind that here in Houston, we should be seeing temperatures this time of year in the 50s. So above normal temperatures during the day and during the evening will continue. Notice where the clouds are coming from today, from the southwest. At the surface, I think they're going to be coming right off the Gulf of Mexico, so still humid. And a few showers back toward the southwest may sneak in here. There's your 20% chance of rain. Not a great chance, but the warm and humid weather continues. We might see a little disturbance stay to our north, not affecting us. So the warm weather continues at least until the weekend. We'll check out that here in a second, but look at the rest of the work week. Temperatures generally in the upper 80s, overnight lows in the mid to lower 70s, and then a lot of things going on this weekend. Number one, it's Halloween. Number two, we turn the clocks back. Daylight saving time comes to an end. And also a cold front approaches us, bringing us a chance of showers and some cooler weather. All right, for the first time this morning and this week, it's Sunshine Award time. In today's episode, we take you up to Kuehnle Elementary School, part of the Klein Independent School District. This 15-year-old school had a great visit outside, even though it was a warm morning, a nice visit with all the koalas up there. That is their mascot. And we were there to present the award to Teacher's Aide and Educational Secretary Jimmy Ruth Arceneaux, or JR Arceneaux. We'll call her Miss JR the rest of the morning. The principal and many of the kids, some 500 of them, were there to greet us. Miss Arceneaux, believe it or not, was a mom and now has 2 grown kids, and decided, well, once her friend moved away out of the country, she needed to someone to fill her position. So she kind of just stumbled upon her job there, and now she's kind of the go-to person there at the school. Nice lady, and we had a great visit. For the first time, I had an accompanist. Am I saying that right? An accompanist on the keyboard to help me out with my 1 or 2 jokes that I had, and anytime we did the award, he was right there with me with a little background music. Bring him in for your show this morning? Yeah, I need him. I need something.
Yeah, you do. Thank you. We appreciate it, Wes.
Let's check out with Don Armstrong. Do you have an accompanist with you?
No, nor do I have any jokes to tell this morning. It's Monday, you know. We're not supposed to be in a good mood. Anyway, here's what's going on out there this morning. All is well out on the freeways. We do have one accident over in southwest Houston working Bel Air and Gessner. It's in the clearing stages, so so avoid that intersection if you can. But on the main lane freeways, all is well. 45, the North Freeway and the Hardy Toll Road, looking good coming in from the north side of town. I don't know whether all the road work has been picked up or it was canceled for the weekend, but because of the rain, but no problems out on any of the freeways as far as road work is concerned. Looking good coming in on 288 as well. And that is your Time Saver traffic report. Don't forget, we have your latest weather and traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 2s. Your next update coming up at 5:22. 5:16, and in Morning on the Move, it is time to start surfing the internet for good gasoline deals, because the price to fill up is going up again. National average for self-serve regular unleaded has gone up more than a nickel in the past 2 weeks to $2.04, according to the Lundberg survey. That's nationwide. Analysts say record high crude oil prices are to blame. Here in Houston, average price for regular unleaded is $1.89. Now to construction that could add a few minutes to your commute. I-10, the Baytown East Freeway, one outside lane plus the outside shoulder eastbound from Uvalde to Maxey will be closed all this week from 8:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. And 3 outside lanes of the Baytown East Freeway, both east and westbound from Uvalde to Sheldon, will be closed nightly from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m.
Thank you, Don. Time now is 5:17. It is 75 degrees here at Local 2.
You know, they're designed to actually save lives, but one parachute led to a skydiver's death. We're going to tell you how the bizarre accident brought down a plane, guaranteed in the next 10 minutes.
And caught on tape, a family escaping a gas explosion. You'll see it for yourself next.
You want to impress the gang with a trendy restaurant favorite right from our very own kitchen? Is there a secret? Well, you'll see.
This egg has been judged America's best tasting egg. It's Eggland's best.
They taste great.
They're really special. Try Eggland's best eggs.
Share the love. Pass the Splenda. Spread the sweetness.
Splenda's the no-calorie sweetener made from sugar, so it tastes like sugar. Almost anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda. You can even cook and bake with it. So don't be surprised when a neighbor pops by to borrow a cup of Splenda.
Carolyn Hardin will always remember how Judge Ted Poe treated her after her son was murdered.
That Judge Poe is not the guy that he says he is. He won't follow through with what he says.
Ted Poe imposed one of his creative sentences, but Carolyn Hardin says he never followed through.
I don't think we need anybody like this in Congress. We have enough people up there that's against victims.
Ted Poe. Can we trust him? The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Introducing Mercury Mariner. Save yourself the hassle. Get 2. Lease Mercury Mariner convenience for $2.99 a month for 24 months. See your Texas Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
Want a better way to get traffic on the radio? Try XM Satellite Radio's new instant traffic and weather channels. Non-stop, in-depth local traffic and weather on XM Satellite Radio.
In news around Texas today, a domestic disturbance in San Antonio turns into attempted murder. Officers say that a man there shot his wife 3 times on Sunday, but despite her injuries, 63-year-old Lizella Bryant managed to run to a neighbor's house and get help. Soon afterwards, police and SWAT teams arrived and surrounded the home, and that's where they found 66-year-old Willie Bryant inside with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Search crews have recovered 3 bodies and are searching for 2 more near the wreckage of a medical jet that crashed near the Mexico border. A Learjet crashed shortly after leaving a small San Diego airfield Sunday morning, killing all 5 on board. The flight was bound for Albuquerque, New Mexico. Federal Aviation Administration is investigating. In Illinois, a plane crash there is believed to have been caused by the premature deployment of a parachute. Investigators say that chute opened inside the aircraft, got tangled in the controls, causing the plane to spiral to the ground. The skydiver whose chute opened died in the crash. 5 other skydivers on board parachuted safely to the ground.
A family narrowly escapes a gas tank explosion, a blast that was all caught on tape. Ray Nichols was pumping gas at the Stark County, Ohio gas station when a runaway car slammed into the pump, nearly crushing Nichols. His wife and 2 small children were still inside the car when you see that crash that happened. Amazingly, all 4 were able to walk away unharmed. The driver of the other car is actually seen running from her car as well.
Wow.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Well, a botched performance on Saturday Night Live has one pop star denying that she lip syncs.
Singer Ashley Simpson performed on the live show on Saturday night and had some problems with her second song.
On a Monday, I'm waiting.
What's that? Simpson started her song as a voice recording of a different song played in the background, then abruptly stopped. Well, Simpson jumped around a bit, then eventually ran off stage. At the end of the show, she blamed the band.
Exactly. I feel so bad my band started playing the wrong song, and I know what to do, so I thought I'd do a hoedown. I'm sorry.
The song is her most popular, and by the way, it was the same song she had performed earlier in the show.
Very Milli Vanilli-esque.
You know, I mean, I feel for her and everything, but that didn't...
You heard her singing in the background.
Yeah, her voice, so...
Yeah. Pretty bad. I'd say goodbye to her career, at least for this week.
For a moment, anyway.
For this week. You never know what happens in Hollywood.
It's 5:22, 74 degrees now here at Local 2.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s.
Wes Hohenstein, who guaranteed he would not be doing any sort of hoedown for us or lip syncing, joins us now with the weather.
We don't lip sync our words here. And now we'll look at the weather.
Horrible.
I don't know. My audio guy was probably freaking out. It's 5:22 on a Monday morning. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We got some much needed rain. And now we go back up into the upper 80s. Here's a look outside right now. You can see temperatures generally in the 70s, although it is above normal still. Temperatures are a few degrees cooler than they were last week at this time in the morning. So we're looking at 72 in Tomball, 73 in Houston. Still warm along the water. You can see it's 80 degrees down in Galveston. Up into space, most of the rain we saw over the weekend has now pushed out of here. But you can still see a few showers and some clouds off to the west. And since that's the direction our clouds are coming from, can't rule out the chance of a 20% chance of showers today. But below record heat, I guess that's the good news. Still above normal, though, 85 by lunchtime, 89 or so for your afternoon high. And it looks like we'll stay warm and dry most of the week, but big changes coming up this weekend. And I'll talk about those a little later. Right now, here's Don Armstrong, live with a look at your traffic.
And no lip syncing either, which would probably be a good thing for me. Anyway, here's what's going on out there this morning. All is quiet for your Monday morning commute all over town. We take you over to the west side. First of all, coming in from the Sealy-Katy area, all is well with no slows or delays and no lingering overnight construction work to get in your way out there on the west side of town. Same thing holds true on the east side right now. I think the weekend road work was pretty much washed out because of the scattered rain we had around town. I-10 Baytown East 225 LaPorte Highway, the East Belt, and the East Loop. Looking good coming across the ship channel this morning. And for now, that is your time saver traffic reports.
And don't forget, we have weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s.
Time now is 5:24, 74 degrees outside. Well, this morning, Mr. Food lets us in on a little secret.
And you're in great shape because this is the secret of how to make crusted chicken just like the professional chef at the restaurant.
Ever order one of those fancy-looking crusted fish or chicken dishes at a restaurant and think it can only be done by a professional? No secret to a lot of them. Well, watch how we can dazzle our gang at home with this one. In a shallow dish, 2 tablespoons of molasses, 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard, and 1/4 cup of honey. In another shallow dish, 1½ cups of chopped pecans. Now we dip 4 boneless and skinless chicken breasts that we've salted into the mustard mixture, then in the pecans to coat them well. We place them on a sprayed baking sheet, pop them into a preheated 350-degree oven for about, 20-25 minutes, till the chicken is fully cooked and no pink remains. And then it is yummy. Well, just looking at these makes your mouth water. And there's no big secret to this. There's no special tools or brands. What makes it so hoo-hoo fancy is simply the tangy sweet sauce smothered with the crunchy nutty coating. Now put that on the table, teamed with whatever side dish, and we've got a hit that looks and tastes like we ordered in, maybe even better. And if you'd like the recipe, you just send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked mustard pecan chicken to me, Mr. Food, right here at the station, or look for it online for dazzling them just like the pros. Now, they'll look for some hidden takeout containers. but it's ours. We take a bow. They do the, ooh, it's so good.
Well, the birth of a baby can be a beautiful experience, but for more than 500,000 women a year, it becomes a terrible nightmare. Today, Dr. Phil has advice for those with postpartum depression. That's today at 3, followed by Local 2 at 4.
Time now is 5:26, 74 degrees this Monday morning.
This morning, one community is mourning the loss of a landmark, a building more than 50 years old, burned to the ground. We'll tell you what happened next.
And if you have a child in college, prepare to empty out your pockets.
I don't want to hear this. We'll tell you about one school implementing a 6% tuition hike next.
Good morning, Houston. This is Jimmy Ruth Arceneaux from Kuehnle Elementary in Klein. Please stay tuned for our weather with Wes.
You guys hungry? I'll make Totino's pizza rolls. I love Totino, but we have to be quiet. My Totino tastes like a cheeseburger. Mine tastes like a taco. I love Totino.
Word's out. The rolls they crave now come in sandwich and Mexican favorites. Totino's rolls. It's how kids help themselves.
I can't survive on a fixed income if my property taxes keep going up.
Prop 1 caps property taxes and raises the senior exemption.
Our property taxes have gone through the roof, and it's time somebody does something about it.
But we have to remember to keep our neighborhoods safe.
Prop 2 does not limit property taxes and could cut police and fire protection. Help me keep Houston moving. Vote for Prop 1, against Prop 2.
The redesigned Nissan Altima. Engaging. A shift in style. From fit to finish. It's forward thinking. Now get $1,000 cash back or 2% financing on the redesigned Nissan Altima. And make no payments until 2005. Enlightening.
I'm Kathy Hill, and 4 years ago, my husband was killed by a gang member. He shot Barry 7 times. 4 of those shots were to his face. I first met Chuck Rosenthal. He was prosecuting the individual that killed my husband, and he won the case. Chuck was very kind and very gentle with our family. He has attended my daughter's wedding, which is the happy times instead of just being there for the sad times.
Re-elect District Attorney Chuck Rosenthal. He gets involved. He stays involved.
You've got the right candidate with Chuck.
Kashana. Like that. You know I like it. I like it. I like it like that. The good times are waiting. That is a fact. So come on, let me show you where it's at. The name of the place is.
I like it like that.
The name of the place is. I like it like that.
Now, live, Local 2 today at 5:30 a.m.
While you were sleeping today, Harris County deputies arrested a man accused of beating someone to death. We'll tell you how it happened next.
Plus, one of the major players in Enron's boom to bust will find out his fate today. We'll hear what's next for Andrew Fastow.
And weather has started to dry out, but temperatures are still warm. The good news is there will be no record highs today, but we will come close. Outside right now, temperatures are in the 70s, as you can see, around 70 degrees in Conroe, 75 in Brenham, 73 right here in Houston, Harris County. From space, we have a few clouds, as most of our cloud cover comes from the west. There are a few showers out in the middle part of the state, and a 20% chance of rain in our area today, but below record heat with highs around 89.
Right now, we're going to take you on a virtual reality tour of 59, the Southwest Freeway, coming in past the Channel 2 studios, Beach Nut Yester, around the West Park Curve, through the Galleria area and the 610 West Loop, through Greenway Plaza, under the bridges into downtown. North and southbound traffic looking good there, and that is the case all over town with no slows, delays, or lingering weekend world work to tell you about right now. And that is your Time Saver Traffic Report. Don't forget, we have your weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s. Your next update at 5:42.
Our big story this morning, the questions surrounding a brutal beating in Northwest Harris County. Now, we first heard about the homicide here at our assignment desk around 8:30 last night. Local 2 Today reporter Priscilla Kuehnle is live on the 15,000 block of Spencer near Highway 6 with what happened. Priscilla?
Sarah, a neighbor has already been arrested and charged with this crime that happened here at the Copper Mill apartment complex. The beating happened in that unit right behind me at about 8:30 last night. Detectives here left at about 4:45 this morning, so they've been gathering evidence all night long. The Harris County Sheriff's Department says 21-year-old Daniel Herrera died last night after a neighbor bludgeoned him to death inside his home. He died of head trauma. Herrera's girlfriend is the one who called 911 after she found his body inside.
They found him to be dead on the scene. He was treated by EMS personnel, and they couldn't revive him.
Officers arrested 27-year-old Walter Grayson. Authorities say he and the victim were arguing before the deadly beating took place. This crime is still under investigation, and detectives say that Walter Grayson has confessed to this crime. We're live in Northwest Harris County. I'm Priscilla Kuehnle, Local 2 News.
Priscilla, I know you just said that he did confess, but what do we know about him, the suspect?
Well, we do know that he has had a brush with the law in the past. Back in 1996, he had been charged with a felony, and there's still no word this morning on what that argument was about late last night.
All right, thank you, Priscilla Kuehnle, reporting live in Northwest Harris County. Well, the body of a Houston man murdered while heading back to the U.S. from Mexico will be returned to Houston today.
A Florida teen and a woman were also traveling with the victim when they were attacked near Cutzamala Pinzon. Mexican authorities say 22-year-old Ronaldo Vasquez Jr., 16-year-old Ashley Denninger, and 22-year-old Vanessa Burgos were robbed last Thursday while traveling on a deserted road in southern Mexico. Vasquez and Denninger were killed. Burgos was spared when she told the attackers that she was pregnant. Vasquez's family is looking for answers.
Because he asked her, he said, if you already have what y'all want, you know, why do y'all still want to kill us? And that's the answer that we all want to know, why.
Mexican authorities say the three suspects stole the van the victims were in and were later caught when that van broke down. The three American citizens were robbed on a road in the state of Guerrero. Mexican authorities say that quiet country roads are the site of regular abductions and monthly murders.
Jury selection begins today for a former Conroe Elementary School teacher accused of soliciting a minor for sex over the internet. Hogan Brooks pleaded not guilty to those charges. He was arrested back in August after a sting operation. But if he is convicted, Brooks could face up to 30 years behind bars. Fire devastates a Houston landmark.
The Bill Miraz Dance Hall on West 34th was destroyed when flames quickly went through that 56-year-old building early yesterday morning. Many felt compelled to come see the rubble that was left behind. Like one Houston couple who met at the dance hall, they've now been married 26 years.
Just here with a group of friends looking for a good dancer. Yeah, and he fit that criteria, so it's kind of why we hit it off.
All the memories we've had here and all the fun times we've had, and this place is irreplaceable in my opinion. There isn't another place like it.
Well, investigators say an electrical problem started the fire. An update now to a developing story. Real estate heir Robert Durst is heading back to court today, scheduled for a bond and magistrate hearing in Philadelphia. Durst pleaded not guilty to 2 federal firearms charges. Those charges stem from a November 2001 when he was charged with bond jumping after murdering his neighbor, accused of murdering his neighbor, Morris Black. Investigators say Durst had 2 guns and ammunition in his car when he was caught. Durst was acquitted of murder charges.
New information now in Enron's boom to bust. Former Chief Financial Officer Andrew Fastow may learn his fate today. The former Enron executive pleaded guilty to 2 counts of conspiracy as part of a plea bargain. He agreed to serve 10 years and help prosecutors in cases against other former Enron employees connected to the boom to bust scandal. His sentencing hearing will get underway later on today. And closing arguments are expected to be made in the first criminal trial to emerge from Enron's boom to bust. 4 former Merrill Lynch executives and 2 former mid-level Enron executives are on trial right now for fraud and conspiracy from the alleged sham sale of 3 power-producing barges back in 1999. The case could be in the jury's hands by Wednesday.
More investigations are underway regarding Halliburton's involvement in the effort to rebuild Iraq. The Pentagon is looking into claims by a top Army contracting official that the company won billion-dollar contracts that others weren't allowed to bid. Halliburton has been a focus this election year because Vice President Dick Cheney is a former chief executive officer and continues to receive deferred compensation from the company.
New this morning, the price of getting an education at Baylor University is going up now. The school's regents have approved more than 6% tuition increase for next year's incoming students. The $1,150 per year increase brings tuition for new students up to $19,050. Regents have also approved a price hike for some graduate school students and law school students. In dollars and cents this morning, stocks start the week off on a bad note. Down arrows all across the board.
First Act credit reporter Joya Das joins us live from the American Stock Exchange with more. Good morning, Joya. Glad you could join us.
Good morning. Absolutely. Can you imagine what it's going to cost us by the time our kids go to college?
Don't even want to think about it.
Well, Joya, one of us already has a kid in college, and I'm finding out right now, but thank you so much.
I think I'm still paying off my own college. Well, there's more pain at the gas pump. Let me tell you about that. I'm sure you want to hear this. The average price of a gallon of gas rose a nickel in the last 2 weeks. According to the Lundberg survey, the combined national average for all grades of gas rose to $2.07 per gallon. Now, we continue to keep tabs on crude oil as it closed about $55 a barrel for the first time on Friday. A possible petroleum industry strike in Norway could be a factor today. Well, as you said, disappointing earnings put pressure on the Dow Friday. It was down at 11-month low, down 108 points at 97.57. The Nasdaq was down 38 points at 19.15. The S&P 500 down 11 points. Well, it's a very busy week as earnings week kicks off in earnest. We're going to hear profit results from such big names as American Express, ExxonMobil, and Kellogg this week. Analysts expect the markets to trade in a tight range as we count down to the election, and fears about higher oil prices and terrorism will keep momentum in check. Well, apparently there is a tomato shortage in the United States, and that has left restaurants such as Wendy's and Olive Garden scrambling to find alternatives. Severe weather in Florida and California have hurt crops and caused prices to more than double. Wendy's has even gone so far as to say that the menu changes will cause a profit shortfall this quarter, and McDonald's Chipotle-style restaurants, or actually the name of the chain is Chipotle, is considering implementing rolling blackouts where certain markets may not have tomato salsa 1 day a week. Live at the Amex for Local 2. I'm First Act credit reporter Joy Dunn.
No, say it's
rolling
not
blackouts. Those apply to electricity, not to
tomatoes.
No.
My gosh, you have to go with Alfredo sauce and not the tomato sauce instead.
No salsa cannot happen.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Thank you. I guess we'll have to look forward to that. Thank you, Joya.
Okay.
Time now is 5:38. It is 74 degrees.
It's designed to help ease the pain of a debilitating disease, but now doctors say that arthritis drugs can help fight off something much worse. We've got that story guaranteed in the next 10 minutes.
And we all got caught up in the Astros mania this year. Our team had a great season.
Well, we're going to tell you where you can thank them for it coming up next.
Dollars and Cents is sponsored in part by First Ag Credit.
Join me in support of Houston's world-class medical and research community. Be a part of the Institute for Rehabilitation and Research Gala, benefiting Mission Connect and Charity Care, Saturday, November 6th at Reliance Center. Call this number or go to click2houston.com.
It's a mattress free-for-all at Fingers, Houston's #1 mattress dealer. Now get all this free with a purchase of your new Sealy Posturepedic, Stearns & Foster, or Restonic mattress. You get a free fitted sheet, free top sheet, 2 deluxe pillows, and 2 pillowcases free. Plus a free bed frame, free delivery, and free removal of your old mattress. Even the financing is free for 1 year with no down payment and no finance charges. The mattress free-for-all sale is held over Monday at your Fingers.
Fact. No one has more truck models, and no trucks last longer than Chevy, period. Get the right deal on the right truck right now during the Chevy Right Truck event. Get $5,000 total cash back on select 04 Silverados or Silverado half-ton crew cabs with GMAC financing. Hurry, the Chevy Right Truck event ends November 1st. Chevy, driving Texas.
Hi, how are you? May I help you find something today? Tangerine. That's fun, isn't it? Do you do fuchsia? I don't like to call them colors. I like to call them flavors.
Don't do this to friends and loved ones. Next time, give the American Express gift card. Instead of one place, it's good all over the place. Available at AmericanExpress.com.
Next all-new Ellen, the big showdown. Ellen takes on tennis great Serena Williams.
You're not running for him. Come on.
Plus, Seinfeld superstar from Listen Up, Jason Alexander.
Handsome devil.
All-new Ellen. This morning at 10 on Local 2.
Well, the Red Sox beat the Yankees 4 straight to win the ALCS. They continue now against St. Louis, up 2-0. Curt Schilling played through a lot of pain for the Red Sox as he pitched a phenomenal game on a damaged ankle tendon. Schilling gave up just 4 hits and an unearned run in 6 innings. He held St. Louis to 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Led the Red Sox to a 6-2 win. Game 3 in St. Louis tomorrow. Well, today you can take part in a citywide celebration honoring the Astros.
The Thanks for the Great Season rally begins today at noon at City Hall. Fans, players, and coaches will all be there. And if you can't make it, make sure you watch Local 2 at noon for live coverage. The Houston Humane Society will hold its Par 4 Pets Golf Tournament and silent auction today. The event is benefiting homeless and abused animals and will take place at the Wildcat Golf Club at 12,000 Alameda Road today at noon. Our anchor, Dominique Saxa, will lead the silent auction at the event. If you'd like to make a donation, call 713-433-6421.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s.
It's 5:42, and I just think of Dominique leading a silent auction. I don't know how you do that. You just kind of...
You lead it.
Quietly.
The folks will gather at night, and they will storm to the Capitol.
That's
right. That's exactly what I was thinking, too. All right.
Are we going to be hot and humid? What's the deal today?
It is. No record-breaking heat, but, I mean, we're only talking a few degrees below record, so it's still going to be warm outside. We've lost the rain we had over the weekend, so a dry start to your work week. And to help us talk about it, we head over to Kuehnle Elementary School. And Kuehnle Elementary School up in the Klein Independent School District. Good morning to all the kids up there, and especially their Sunshine Award winner. We will introduce you to her in just a second. Going to have a nice mix of sun and clouds today. No fog really to speak of this morning. That's different than what happened last week. We'll get up to 85 by lunchtime, 89, which should be our high by about 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. And even though it's above normal right now, we are a little bit cooler than we were last week. 73 right now up at the big airport on the north side of Harris County, 73 on the southeast side, and down on the coast it is 80 degrees. Light winds this morning, and our dew point still in the lower 70s, so the humidity will still be out there today, so warm and humid weather. The exact opposite of what's going on up around the Panhandle. 40s and 50s. There was a front that came through the northern part of the state this week. Obviously, it did not penetrate into our area, but there is another one coming for next weekend that probably will. This ridge of high pressure remained in place and will stay in place most of this week, keeping us dry. There's that little frontal boundary I was talking about. There are showers back to the west as well. But again, as long as this ridge of high pressure stays in place, which it should, we will have a very warm and humid week. Luckily, this will start to break down this upcoming weekend, and check out what it does to our 7-day forecast. As you can see, 89 today and dry, 88 tomorrow, 88 on Wednesday, and so on through Thursday and Friday. The ridge of high pressure starts to break down this weekend, and that will allow a cold front to come close enough or even push through our area to bring us showers this weekend. The same weekend we go trick-or-treating. The same weekend we turn back our clocks. There's a lot to remember this weekend. Take notes here. All right, let's switch gears here, talk about the Sunshine Award, and for that, we head over to Kuehnle Elementary School, where we were there to honor Teacher's Aide and Educational Secretary Jimmy Ruth Arceneaux, or JR Arceneaux, Miss JR as the kids all call her. Kuehnle Elementary up in the Klein School District. Now, JR works up in the front office, and most of the kids come to her when they need help with figuring something out. Of course, they kept the secret from her, so we were there to surprise her with the Sunshine Award and Kroger gift certificate. And upon arriving to the school, I got some nice gifts, and my first question was, how do you pronounce, look at the spelling of the school. Of course, the Klein district is a lot of German heritage up there. Kuehnle Elementary School, K-U-E-H-N-L-E. And you guys thought Hohenstein was tough. These kids have a lot of, they have to be good spellers up there.
Hey, you look like you had a good time, but we're going to hear from her later.
Yes, and we will hear the choir sing a song about radar.
Ah, very good. All that coming up, but first let's get a check of our morning commute with Don Armstrong.
All right, thank you very much, and all is well out there on Kirkendall Street as well. Out there on the north side, we're going to take you up to the northwest side, coming in on the Tomball Parkway, which we call 249 of the northbound. No slows or delays there. It looks like that weekend road work out there at the Beltway has been picked up, and also looking good as well on 45, the Gulf Freeway from the island of Galveston all the way into downtown. No slows there. From NASA, it's about a 21-minute trip right now on into the downtown area. No problems at all to report to you, I'm glad to say, and that is your Time Saver Traffic Report.
Local 2 Today gives you weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s. Your next update is at 5:52. On the Health Beat this morning, researchers have found a possible new benefit for arthritis drugs like Celebrex.
They may help fight cancer. Doctors at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles have found the arthritis drugs may boost the immune system's ability to attack brain tumors. Now, this is done by the drug's ability to block the inflammation caused by the COX-2 enzyme, which allows cancer cells to multiply.
Also on the Health Beat, the shortage of the flu vaccine is leaving many people stressed out. A new poll from the Associated Press shows that the vaccine shortage is causing widespread concern among those with a high-risk relative. That's 4 in every 10 American families. That fear has led many people to stand in long lines for a chance at getting the flu shot. Well, if you want a flu shot in Seattle, you might just want to take a cruise. A tour boat takes tourists on a one-day trip from Washington up to Canada. They can get a chance to see the sights and also get that hard-to-find shot. The cost, $105, and that includes the vaccination. That's certainly a different way of doing it, that's for sure. Time now is 5:47, 74 degrees outside.
We have one man is facing a possible life sentence for his romantic relationships with a series of women. Find out why some say he's practically committing murder. Guaranteed in the next 10 minutes.
And the latest on the deadly earthquakes in Japan. See the damage for yourself up next.
How sweet it is. Today's destination wedding for Buddy and Nikki. And the next decision will really test your good taste. The wedding cake. Log on and vote for your favorite confection by tomorrow at noon. Presented by Club Wed at Target.
This segment of Local 2 News is sponsored in part by IW Marks.
This is how you say it with IW Marks Jewelers. We're gonna help you speak so beautifully. You're gonna say it oh so perfectly. This is how you say it with IW Marks Jewelers.
Everybody knows that Fingers sells more furniture than anyone in Houston. But do you know why? It's our guaranteed low prices. Fingers' big volume buying power and low price guarantee means you can't buy it for less. I guarantee you won't find a lower price on any item in our $30 million inventory. So why do more people shop Fingers?
I'd say it's the low prices.
It's got to be the low prices.
Lower prices? It's the #1 reason why Fingers is Houston's #1 furniture store.
Fact. No one has more truck models, and no trucks last longer than Chevy, period. Get the right deal on the right truck right now during the Chevy Right Truck event. Get $5,000 total cash back on select 04 Silverados or Silverado half-ton crew cabs with GMAC financing. Hurry, the Chevy Right Truck event ends November 1st. Chevy, driving Texas.
Have you finished your report? Yeah, but we need a way faster connection.
Get that faster connection with SBC Yahoo DSL for $26.95 a month. And get 4 tickets to The Incredibles, a Disney presentation of a Pixar film.
Jeffrey was riding with his mother when a drunk driver took his young life. The bar had served that driver 8 shots of alcohol in the 2 hours prior to the crash. Jeffrey's mother turned to Simmons and Fletcher for help. While no amount of money can ever replace a lost child, the bar was held responsible and paid substantial damages. Drunk driving is America's most frequently committed violent crime. Don't let them get away with it. Call Simmons and Fletcher. A great recovery is no accident.
A portion of this program is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. For a free quote on your auto insurance or to find a local agent, call toll-free 1-877-ON-YOUR-SIDE. Nationwide is on your side.
It's a very sad story here. News around the nation today. Investigators in Ohio trying to find out the cause of a fire that killed 6 little girls.
Now, the fire broke out at an apartment building in Toledo. The 6 little girls were trapped on the 2nd floor by heavy flames that engulfed the staircase. A little boy who is also trapped on the 2nd floor is currently in critical condition. Also around the nation today, 8 more women now say that they did have sex with a man who is HIV positive. Anthony Eugene Whitfield is now facing 12 assault charges and is currently behind bars on a $1 million bond. Prosecutors say that Whitfield knew that he had HIV, but didn't tell the women that he had sex with. At least 3 of those women now have AIDS, and if convicted, Whitfield could face a life sentence.
The situation in Iraq turned deadly for dozens of Iraqi army recruits on Sunday. The terrorist group led by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi claimed responsibility for the killings. The group calls itself the Al-Qaeda Organization for the Holy War in Iraq. At least 49 army recruits were killed when guerrillas disguised as police set up a roadblock. The guerrillas forced all 49 cadets to lie face down on the highway before shooting them. Witnesses say at least 6 people were dead now following a U.S. airstrike in Fallujah. Marine officials say warplanes aimed at targets as militants tried to rebuild a command post. The first bombing was followed by several more explosions during a raid in the northern district of Fallujah. So far, there have been no official confirmations on the number of deaths. Powerful aftershocks continue to shake Japan in the wake of Saturday's deadly 6.8 magnitude earthquake.
Tens of thousands of people are homeless now following the quake, which killed 25 people. At least 98,000 people are living in makeshift shelters at gymnasiums and other public buildings. Military officials are using helicopters to take food and supplies to the outlying villages that have been cut off by the washed-out bridges and the blocked roads.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s.
It is 5:52, time for an update on our weather here, Wes Hohenstein, and I saw a little bit of rain in the forecast today, and then we have dry for a while.
Yeah, I think the rain we got over this weekend will satisfy us for the rest of this work week because we are going to be dry and still warm. It is 5:52 on a Wednesday morning. Let's check on some real-time numbers outside, and there you can see most of us are in the 70s. Over in Chambers County, be trying to decide between 76 and 77 over in Anahuac. 73 here in Houston, 77 down in the Kemah Boardwalk, and 80 degrees down on the island. From space, you can see we have a few clouds. Looks like the fog has left us as compared to last week, so generally a clear commute. A few showers and clouds off to the west may sneak in here today, so I put a 20% chance of rain in for your afternoon commute. Staying warm, but below record highs. Today's record is 92, and we will only make it up to a mere 89, but that is about 10 degrees above normal. We have some rain in the forecast. We'll take a look at your 7-day outlook in a few minutes. Right now, let's check in with Don Armstrong, who has a look at your Monday morning commutes.
All right, thanks, Wes. And we do have one accident that just popped up. It's over here on 290, the outbound side at the 610 West Loop. So keep that in mind right there as you head on out this morning. But elsewhere around town, it's all quiet. Traffic beginning to build now. 59, the East Tex Freeway, though, still no slows out there all the way into the downtown Houston area. And all as well down on 59, the Southwest Freeway from Richmond-Rosenberg across the Brazos River through Sugar Land and into downtown. No slows there either yet. And that is your Time Saver traffic report.
And don't forget, we've got weather and traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 2s.
Time now is 5:54, 74 degrees here at Local 2.
If you're a parent, you're going to want to listen to this. Some toys and rattles are being recalled this morning. We'll tell you which could be bad for your kids coming up next.
Thanks for waking up with us. Local 2 today continues for Cypress, Seabrook, and Sealy. Stay with us.
Introducing Mercury Montego, a dependable ride for the undependable forecast.
On November 5th, 2002, over 650,000 Harris County residents made history when they exercised their most fundamental right, the right to vote. These voters use the new eSlate electronic voting system. eSlate's unique rotating wheel lets voters cast ballots with ease and confidence. Keep the wheels of democracy turning. Vote this November. It's easier than ever.
Vioxx may be dangerous. Vioxx has been taken off the market. This drug has been associated with cardiovascular problems. If you or someone you love have suffered a heart attack or stroke, call Waldman Smallwood for more information. It is important for you to know your rights.
Call us at Waldman Smallwood, 713-552-9111. 713-552-9111.
Waldman Smallwood.
A consumer alert this morning. A nationwide inspection indicates internet users at home are not nearly as safe online as they believe.
The inspections found that most consumers have no firewall protection, outdated antivirus software, and dozens of spyware programs running secretly on their computers. The study from America Online and the National Cybersecurity Alliance finds that 77% of those questioned say that they're safe from online threats. But when the experts visited those same homes to examine their computers, they found that 2/3 had no protective firewall program and 80% had spyware.
In your recall roundup this morning, several toys that could be hazardous for children and problems with a gas grill. Tai Tung International is recalling a toy ice cream car, police car, and washing machine. Manufacturers say the multicolored beads could pose a choking hazard. They were sold at toy and discount stores from June of 2000 through September of this year. The International Playthings Company is recalling its early years spirally rattle. It received a report saying that the spiral section of the toy could come apart, releasing small balls, which could cause children to choke. The rattle was sold at specialty toy stores between August and September. Next Grill Industries is recalling its Beefmaster Explorer outdoor gas grill. The label on the gas valve could be difficult to read, causing you to leave the gas on. The grills were sold from January of 2002 through June of 2003. Now, for information on replacement parts or refunds, log on to our website, which is click2houston.com. Time now is 5:57. It is 74 degrees here at Local 2.
Now we'll look ahead to the next hour of Local 2 today. One popular teen queen was so embarrassed that she ran off the stage during an SNL on Saturday night. See the on-air flub that has some calling her a fake at 6:18. At 6:41, find out how you can thank the Astros for a fantastic season. And at 6:54, a warning about some toys you could be buying this holiday season.
What happens when Pillsbury meets Hershey's? Cookies! Only Pillsbury puts irresistible Hershey's chocolate into their warm, moist, ready-to-bake cookies. So rich, so chocolatey, so delicious. Pillsbury with real Hershey's chocolate.
He's guided by values like hard work, loyalty, and perseverance. As majority leader, Tom DeLay works closely with President Bush to help set national priorities and works even harder for Texas families here at home. Whether it's homeland security in the Houston area, aggressive missions for Johnson Space Center, or improving foster care to protect children from abuse and neglect. The compassion to care, the strength to lead. Congressman Tom DeLay.
I'm Tom DeLay, and I've approved this message.
It opens up a whole new world of good taste. Adds to life's simple pleasures. Takes a special moment and makes it even more special. Private selection. Everything premium, but the price. Available at Kroger.
Now, live, Local 2 today at 6 a.m.
New this morning, a Northwest Harris County man is in custody for what deputies say he did to a neighbor. The latest on that deadly beating next.
And grade school students in Alvin are mourning the loss of a classmate. Find out what their school is doing to help.
And the rain from the weekend has left us, and now the heat sticks around. That'll be pesky again today. As you start your Monday morning, here's what it looks like outside. A few clouds with most of the overcast skies and showers staying well to our west. We could have a 20% chance of rain sneaking in today, but for the most part, dry. We start off around 73 and we finish just below record highs with today's temperatures getting up to 89.
Traffic beginning to build all over town, including out here on I-10. The Katy Freeway out there by Barker Cypress. Slows already showing up there. Elsewhere around town looking good. 59, the East Tex Freeway, no slows. Building just a little bit there around the Kingwood entrance ramp. And you're also going to find looking good out on 45, the North Freeway and the Hardy Toll Road right now with no slows up there. But it is building as well down around the Shepherd Curve. And that is your time saver traffic report. Remember, we have your weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s. Your next update at 6:12.
Our big story this morning, the brutal beating that left one man dead. It happened around 8:30 last night in the 15,000 block of Spencer near Highway 6. That's where Local 2 Today reporter Priscilla Kuehnle is live now with the very latest. Priscilla?
Cambrell, the victim's girlfriend, is the one who found the body, and she is the one who called 911. The victim and the girlfriend live together in this apartment unit behind me here at the Copper Mill Apartments. A neighbor has been arrested and charged with this crime. Authorities received the call at about 8:30 last night. Detectives here left at about 4:45 this morning, so they've been gathering evidence all night long, dusting for fingerprints and taking photos. The Harris County Sheriff's Department says 21-year-old Daniel Herrera died last night after a neighbor bludgeoned him to death inside his home. He died of head trauma. Authorities believe they now have the man who is responsible for the beating.
And right now we have somebody detained that we're going to talk to here shortly. But that's about all I have to tell you. We're trying to sort it out right now.
Officers arrested 27-year-old Walter Grayson. Authorities say he and the victim were arguing before the deadly beating took place, and detectives say Grayson has confessed to this crime. Grayson has had a history with a brush with law before. He has been charged with a felony back in 1996, and this morning there's still no word on what actually led up to that argument and what led up to the beating here. Again, the victim and the suspect in this case were neighbors. We're live in Northwest Harris County. I'm Priscilla Kuehnle, Local 2 News.
Counselors will be on hand at an Alvin school this morning, helping students deal with a young life lost.
That's right. 7-year-old Araceli Trevino had been missing for days until her body was found at a neighbor's pool on Saturday. An entire community honored the memory of the little girl at a somber service at South Park Baptist Church yesterday. Family and friends remember Araceli as a happy child with a caring spirit.
She was very sensitive too. Like if she saw someone cry, she would cry too. She would bring her clinics and she'd be like, "Don't cry." She'd always be like, "Don't cry, it's okay, Mama."
Police don't suspect foul play to be involved in her death. Instead, they think that Araceli accidentally drowned in the pool.
An elderly woman accused of killing her landlord will also be in court for a jury trial today. 71-year-old Wanda McDonald is charged with murder. Authorities say she shot and killed her landlord near the intersections of Cypress Wood and Kirkendall in April. It's believed the shooting took place over a dispute about a late rent payment.
We are now just 8 days away from the November election. This is the last full week of campaigning for the presidential candidates. Both President Bush and Senator John Kerry are rallying to reach the voters that could make a difference on November 2nd. NBC's Brooke Hart has the latest now from Washington.
Today, both candidates look to make the best of their remaining week on the road. For John Kerry, that means stops today in 4 states. In Philadelphia, he'll be joined by former President Bill Clinton, his first campaign appearance since heart surgery last month. President Bush campaigns in Iowa and Colorado. Aides say he'll spend the days before the election projecting strength in the war on terrorism. But the president drew quick fire from his rival for this comment in an interview to air tonight on Fox News channels Hannity and Combs.
Whether or not we can be ever fully safe is up in the air.
Appearing on NBC's Dateline, John Kerry saw an opening.
He said he doesn't know if America will ever be safe. Well, I do know that America will be safe. Under my leadership, we won World War II. We won the Cold War. We know what we can do when we put our minds to it.
News from Iraq may loom large in the election's final days. The bodies of 49 Iraqi army recruits were found dead this weekend, shot execution style. The men were unarmed and going home on leave when guerrillas posing as a roadside checkpoint stopped their buses. Jordanian Abu Musab al-Zarqawi claimed responsibility. Both John Kerry and George Bush have said speedy training of Iraqi security forces are essential to stabilizing the country.
New polls again show a statistical tie. One interesting variable may be young Americans whose heavy reliance on cell phones has put them out of reach of pollsters. In Washington, Brooke Hart, NBC News.
Well, you just heard Senator John Kerry talking on NBC Dateline, saying the nation would be better off in his hands. Well, this morning, he's guaranteeing Americans more safety during an exclusive one-on-one interview with Katie Couric.
He said he doesn't know if America will ever be safe. Well, I do know that America will be safe under my leadership, because we're going to not allow 95% of American containers to come in uninspected.
But can you really, Senator, make that guarantee in all honesty?
Well, the Bush campaign is busy trying to get its message across to voters as well. In an exclusive Today Show interview, Vice President Dick Cheney responded to accusations that the Bush campaign is trying to scare the people.
I'm trying to have a debate here about what I think is a very serious proposition. We're not doing our jobs if we don't say to the American people, look, this is a global conflict. So what am I supposed to do? Run around the country, say, don't worry about it, everything's fine, there's no threat. That'd be outrageous for me to do that.
Well, you can see those exclusive interviews with Senator John Kerry and Vice President Dick Cheney on the Today Show immediately following Local 2 today at 7 a.m.
Turning to local politics now, two candidates in the race for Houston's district attorney faced off in a hot debate. Local 2 troubleshooter Robert Arnold moderated the debate between current Harris County District Attorney Chuck Rosenthal and his opponent Reginald McCamey at the University of St. Thomas yesterday. The death penalty was a hot issue.
I can tell you, too, that not one single assistant district attorney or not one single district attorney has sent anyone to death row. Juries of their peers have made those decisions after hearing evidence, after hearing what someone does in order to discern whether or not they committed the crime, and then to determine whether or not there will be a continuing threat to society.
We are no safer in Harris County, but we're spending literally millions of dollars each year trying capital murder cases. And the standard that the district attorney's office is using now is, if there's a chance of the jury determining the death penalty is appropriate, they're going to file for death penalty charges. That's not what we should be doing.
For more information on the candidates and issues in your decision 2004, check out click2houston.com and click on the Politics tab before you head out to the polls. Time now is 6:07, coming up on 6:08, 74 degrees outside.
This video coming up, I'm sure, is going to do like it does with me. It's going to make you cringe. A horrible fall during an ice skating competition gives an athlete a concussion. We've got that story coming up.
And more amazing video. Look at this. A family escapes a massive gas tank explosion. See the blast that was caught on tape. That's coming up next.
Your drive time temperatures a little bit lower than they were last week at this time, but still warm, 89 degrees, a little bit of a chance of rain. Wes will have your exclusive AccuWeather forecast coming up. Stay with us.
Want a new look for your lawn? AJ's Landscaping and Design can do it all. No project is too big or small for AJ's. Call 713-957-0449.
Anything you want, you got it. Anything you need, you got it. Anything at all, baby. Anything at all, you got it, baby. You got it.
Carolyn Hardin will always remember how Judge Ted Poe treated her after her son was murdered.
That Judge Poe is not the guy that he says he is. He won't follow through with what he says.
Ted Poe imposed one of his creative sentences, but Carolyn Hardin says he never followed through.
I don't think we need anybody like this in Congress. We have enough people up there that's against victims.
Ted Poe. Can we trust him? The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
family as incredible as The Incredibles, you need incredible technology, like SBC Yahoo DSL and SBC Dish Network.
Dad, it's starting!
Game time.
Now get DSL and satellite TV for about $57 a month. And get 4 tickets to see The Incredibles, a Disney presentation of a Pixar film.
For 6 decades, Houstonians have turned to Nicoletti's for the world's finest lamps, unique accessories, and quality furnishings. You'll find our works in some of Houston's finest homes. Now's the time to bathe your home in the warmth of the unique light that is Nicoletti's. Choose from Houston's largest selection of lamps, lamp shades, and Waterford lighting. Or let Nicoletti's lamp experts give your old lamps a whole new look. Nicoletti's House of Fine Lamps. 60 years of warmth and light to brighten your home.
It's a mattress free-for-all at Fingers, Houston's #1 mattress dealer. Now get all this free with a purchase of your new Sealy Posturepedic, Stearns & Foster, or Restonic mattress. You get a free fitted sheet, free top sheet, 2 deluxe pillows, and 2 pillowcases free. Plus a free bed frame, free delivery, and free removal of your old mattress. Even the financing is free for 1 year with no down payment and no finance charges. The mattress free-for-all sale is held over Monday at your Fingers.
Search crews have recovered 3 bodies and are searching for 2 more near the wreckage of a medical jet that crashed near the Mexico border.
The Learjet reportedly crashed shortly after leaving a small San Diego airfield on Sunday morning, killing everybody on board. 2 pilots, 2 paramedics, and a nurse were on that flight bound for Albuquerque, New Mexico. The Federal Aviation Administration is now investigating that crash. In Illinois, a plane crash there is believed to have been caused by a parachute. Investigators say that the chute opened inside the plane, then got tangled in the controls, which caused the plane to spiral to the ground. The skydiver whose chute opened inside died in that crash. 5 other skydivers on board were able to jump from the plane and parachute safely to the ground.
Well, a family narrowly escapes a gas tank explosion, a blast that was all caught on tape. Ray Nichols was pumping gas at a Stark County, Ohio gas station when a runaway car coming in from the left in this picture slammed into the pump, nearly crushed Nichols. He was able to get around to the other side of the car. His wife and 2 small children still inside that car escaped as the pump burst into flames. All 4 ran away unharmed. The driver of the other car can also be seen running from her car.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s.
Time now is 6:12. We get an update on our Monday morning forecast. It's never easy going to work on Monday, so it'd be nice if you'd throw in some good weather for us.
Okay, well, I'll take the rain away. I know we needed the rain. We got plenty of it over the weekend. However, we're going to dry things out for most of this work week, and we're going to be below record heat, but just barely. We start your Monday morning with a look outside, and you can see temperatures are generally in the lower 70s. That's a little change from last week when we had temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s, but 75 in Huntsville, 70 in Conroe, 73 here in Houston, Harris County, and we still have temperatures around 80 degrees along the coast. Looking from space, you can see a few clouds are trying to work their way in from the southwest. Most of them will be unsuccessful because of that ridge of high pressure that's parked over the Gulf of Mexico. But having said that, I'm still going to leave a 20% chance of rain in there. There's your school schedule, keeping it dry and around 74 for your homeroom class, 85 during lunch. Final bell temperatures around 89. And today's grade is an H, and that is because it is still going to be humid outside today. We have generally dry weather most of this work week, but we do have changes coming up this weekend, and I'll be back in a few minutes to talk about that. Right now, Monday morning, let's check on your commute. Here's Don Armstrong with your Time Saver Traffic.
All right, thank you, Wes. And we do have one accident that continues to work out here. Kind of hard to see, but it's over here on 290. It's the outbound lanes right there at the 610 West Loop and North Loop, where the 2 combine and come on out toward 290. But it is on the outbound side, and the inbound traffic really isn't affected right now out there just yet. Now, elsewhere around town, we are picking up sluggish conditions as well out on I-10, the Katy Freeway, not because of any wrecks, though. Slow now from Fry on into Kirkwood, and then out on 290 itself, out there out in the suburbs, you're going to find sluggish conditions from Huffmeister into Jones. Traffic out there running at 41 miles an hour right now. Overall drive time really not too bad just yet. 19 minutes now from the 1960 area on into the 610 West Loop, adding about 5 minutes to your morning commute. And for now, that is your Time Saver Traffic Reports.
And we have your latest weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s. Your next update is coming up at 6:22. Time now is coming up on 6:15. It is 74 degrees here at Local 2.
There's been an off-track tragedy for one of the biggest names in NASCAR. We'll tell you about the plane crash that killed 10 people coming up next.
And I know better than most that a lot can happen on live TV, but wait till you see what happened to singer Ashlee Simpson. The performance that led to rumors of lip syncing. Next.
And counting. The 210 horsepower supercharged Nissan Xterra.
Most furniture stores carry sofas, but only Fingers carries over 175 different sofas to choose from in every style and every price range, including 50 leather sofas, all in stock and on sale and ready for immediate delivery. This is Texas' biggest living room sale, and with no interest financing for 1 full year, you save even more. It's your choice, chocolate or vanilla, or 175 flavors. Houston's biggest furniture selection is at your feet.
Nick Lampson doesn't share our values. In Washington, Lampson voted to raid the Social Security Fund. He voted for a budget which over 5 years would have increased taxes by over $190 billion and would cut Medicare by nearly $2 billion. Plus, he voted to allow the use of taxpayers' money to develop an abortion pill. That's not how we want our tax dollars spent. Those aren't our values. The National Republican Congressional Committee is responsible for the content of this message.
Stanley Steamer Carpet Cleaner, the area's premier carpet and upholstery cleaner since 1947, also makes your stone and tile look new. Our trained, certified, and professional technicians will expertly clean your tile, reseal your grout, or change the grout color. Stanley Steamer's state-of-the-art equipment provides superior results in cleaning and sealing. When your stone and tile floors need that professional touch, call on the experts. Call Stanley Steamer today for a free on-site analysis of all your floor care needs.
What's hotter than Houston in the summertime? Carpet Giant's Red Hot Sales Event. Our warehouse is stocked full with super sizzling deals on carpet, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl floor covering. To make these deals even hotter, we'll carpet your entire house for just $69.99 a month.
Only $69.99 a month?
That's right. So come in today for the hottest deals of the year. And remember, buy it today, we'll install it tomorrow. I guarantee it.
A portion of this program is brought to you by Pilgrim's Pride Chicken. On a low-carb diet, put some Pilgrim's Pride Chicken on the grill. High in protein, low in fat, and delivered fresh from the farm every day.
The world of professional auto racing is in mourning.
This is following the tragic deaths of 10 people with connections to the NASCAR's Hendrick Motorsports racing team. The 10 people were on board a twin-engine prop plane when it went down just before the race in Martinsville, Virginia yesterday. Among the dead, race team owner Rick Hendrick's son, Ricky Hendrick's brother, John, and John's twin daughters.
We have been in contact with the entire Hendrick organization, including Rick Hendrick, and we're sort of praying for him right now.
Hendrick's drivers at yesterday's Subway 500 were not told of the crash until after the race. The winning car was one of Hendrick's and was allowed to skip the victory lane celebration.
New this morning, a Russian figure skater leaves the hospital after falling face first on the ice. Now watch this video. Tatiana Tatmanina suffered a concussion in a dramatic fall right there. It happened Saturday when her partner lost his balance during a one-handed lift. Now the skater says she doesn't remember anything of that day, including the accident. She plans to rest a few days before getting back on the ice. The two are pairs figure skating world champions.
Wow, that is so tough to look at.
I know.
And this is kind of uncomfortable to look at, too. A botched performance on Saturday Night Live has one pop singer denying that she lip syncs.
Milli Vanilli, watch out. Singer Ashlee Simpson performed on the live show on Saturday and had some problems with her second song.
On a Monday,
yeah, if you notice, she's actually not singing, although you hear her voice. A voice recording of a different song played in the background right there, and then it abruptly stopped, so Simpson apparently jumped around a little bit like that. And then she ran off stage. At the end of the show, she blamed the band, saying that they were playing the wrong tune.
No love lost between the band and her.
I'm sure.
6:19 coming up on 6:20 and 74 degrees. We'll be right back after this break.
Good morning. Good morning, Houston. This is Hannah Taylor from Kuehnle Elementary in 5th grade. Please stay tuned with the weather with Wes.
This segment of Local 2 News is sponsored in part by AJ's Landscaping and Design.
Come see the all-new Parkway Chevrolet and experience the Parkway Chevrolet difference. Since we've grown, we now have over 1,500 Chevrolets available. That means we have to get this huge selection moving fast. And a bigger location means bigger deals for you. At Parkway Chevrolet, get huge discounts on all 2004 Chevrolets to make room for the 2005 models arriving daily. It's a special grand opening savings event at Parkway Chevrolet. The party's just getting started at the brand new Parkway Chevrolet in Tomball.
Nick Lamson's ads are false, misleading, and negative. Truth is, a Texas jury sentenced the offender, and Judge Ted Poe actually harshened the punishment. Nick Lamson is soft on crime. He voted against requiring criminals to serve most of their sentences and voted against increased airport security. Ted Poe is a tough, no-nonsense judge and an innovative leader who's earned the endorsement of law enforcement, a former prosecutor with the support of victims' rights groups.
I am Ted Poe, and I authorize this message.
Don't do this to friends and loved ones. Next time, give the American Express gift check. Instead of one place, they're good all over the place. Available at American Express Travel Service offices.
Katie was sure of her cholesterol plan. She took medication, she ate right and ran. Yet it wasn't enough to get bad cholesterol low. What's this? I'm still here in the land of no. Switch to Crestor, her doctor said. You're not to blame. All cholesterol drugs simply aren't the same. When Crestor performed in a head-to-head test, its lowering effect was clearly the best. Crestor's proven effective, that's well understood. Would you like to try it? Why, yes. Yes, I would.
Ask your doctor about Crestor. Crestor is not for everyone, including people with liver disease and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of serious side effects.
Since Katie switched to Crestor, her cholesterol's much less. With Crestor and diet, it's the land of success. Get your free trial today and you just might declare, I'm a Crestor success. Now you're getting somewhere.
AJ's Landscaping and Design can do it all. From landscape architecture to maintenance, no project is too big or small for AJ's. Call 713-957-0449.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s.
It is now 6:22 on a Monday morning. The rain is gone, but the heat is still here. That's unfortunately what we have to talk about this week. To help us do it, we head up to the Klein School District. And those are the koalas up at Kuehnle Elementary School. A nice welcome last Friday morning. And this morning, here in a few minutes, we'll introduce you to today's winner. Noticing around town, as compared to last week, we have a lot of lower 70s. I know last Friday, last Thursday, all of last week, we started the week around 80 degrees. So a little cooler today. Conroe has fallen down to 69. Kingwood at 72. Over in Galena Park, you guys are at 74. Down in Pearland, it's 73 degrees. Here in Houston, it's also 73, holding on to 80s along the coast. And again, a little cooler as you head to the north, 70 in Livingston, Liberty, and in Huntsville. Up into space we go, and not too many clouds, no fog this morning. There are plenty of clouds off to the west, and in some of those clouds, there are a few showers, and a few of them might sneak in here today. So we'll keep a 20% chance of rain in the forecast. But the rest of the week, this ridge of high pressure kind of dominates our forecast, and I don't think we'll get record heats, but we'll get pretty close, and we'll stay dry, as well as humid conditions. So again, another summer-like week here this final week of October. The final week of October does mean Halloween is right around the corner, and so is the end of daylight saving time. All that happens this weekend, so don't forget to turn your clocks back, and don't forget to watch out because a cold front comes through this weekend, bringing us showers and some cooler weather. And in today's Sunshine Award, back to that now, we visit the Koalas at Kuehnle Elementary School in the Klein ISD. Jimmy Ruth Arceneaux, or Miss JR, as she's known to the students and staff, is today's winner. Now, Miss JR works in the front office, and in addition to helping take care of the school, it seems her most important task is taking care of the people inside it.
Okay. But the first thing I need you to do is give
She's just a great person. She cares about everybody. Everybody matters to JR. I don't want to cry, so.
All my co-workers and all the students and all of our administration here, they really should be getting the award also, because they're really the sunshine. They're the reason why I get excited about coming to work every day.
Now, Miss JR was actually born here in Texas, moved away and lived in Louisiana for much of her adult life, came back here in 1977, and she has 2 grown kids, and now she has about 500 little kids to take care of, and they really loved her. They Miss JR the whole time.
Now, apparently the choir is going to be singing a We Miss Radar song of some
Yeah, there's
sort.
about 20 to 30 kids, and they have a song dedicated to radar coming up in the next half hour.
Very good. Look forward to hearing that.
All right, look forward to hearing Don Armstrong now in traffic. Don?
Well, I don't know whether you'll look forward to this. The accident location out here on 290. It is over on the shoulder, and it's inbound between 34th and Mangum. But as you can see, traffic is slow out there right now as you approach the accident location because of the flashing lights. So let's make it slow from 34th into the loop here. Before that, you're also going to find sluggish conditions from Huffmeister on into Jones Road. Then over on 45, the Gulf Freeway, we're also picking up slows right now. Traffic is building all around town, Monroe into Park Place. But that one accident location out there on 290 is it for now as far as accidents are concerned. So overall, I think we're looking pretty good for a Monday morning commute. And for now, that is your time saver traffic report. Remember, we have your latest weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s.
Time now is 6:26. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
Okay. Good morning, Houston. This is Bradley Johnson at Kuehnle Elementary at 5th grade. Please stay tuned for more Local 2 today.
The Local 2 News Sunshine Awards are sponsored by Kroger.
If you've got health and beauty items on your shopping list, you could probably find them in a mega store, where shopping can be a mega chore. You could try a drugstore, where everything is much smaller, except for the prices. Or you could just come to Kroger, where you'll find everything you need to look and feel your best, all priced right. Kroger, right drugstore, right price.
I'm Kathy Hill, and 4 years ago, my husband was killed by a gang member. He shot Barry 7 times. 4 of those shots were to his face. I first met Chuck Rosenthal. He was prosecuting the individual that killed my husband, and he won the case. Chuck was very kind and very gentle with our family. He has attended my daughter's wedding, which is the happy times instead of just being there for the sad times.
Re-elect District Attorney Chuck Rosenthal. He gets involved. He stays involved.
You've got the right candidate with Chuck.
Like that. You know I like it. I like it. I like it like that. Good times are waiting. That is a fact. So come on, let me show you where it's at. The name of the place is.
I like it like that.
The name of the place is. I like it like that.
Because you do this, you get this. Because you do this, you get this. And because you do this, you get this and that. Announcing the Nissan Xterra with the World Championship Package. You'll get 16 options and $3,510 in total savings with no payments until 2005.
XM Satellite Radio has 100% commercial-free music and now instant traffic and weather channels, so you can get local traffic and weather all the time. XM Satellite Radio. You're watching Local 2, where local news comes first.
New this morning, one man is dead, another in custody after a deadly beating last night. We're live on the scene with the very latest up next.
And they were attacked while traveling through Mexico. 2 were killed, 1 was spared. Find out exactly what that woman said to save herself coming up.
And the rain we had over the weekend is gone. The record heat we had from last week is gone, but definitely not forgotten. Still a warm week ahead. We started off with temperatures in the 70s this morning, anywhere from 72 in Tomball to 71 down in Richmond, 73 right here in Houston, Harris County. From space, you can see a few clouds, but no rain this morning, and only a 20% chance today with temperatures just below records, right around 89 degrees.
Traffic building all over town, but no major problems to report to you. I am glad to say don't need that challenge for a Monday morning commute. Right now on 45, the North Freeway, sluggish conditions from Gulf Bank on into Airline. Traffic there running at about 39 miles an hour. But overall, the commute right now, 33 minutes, adding about 3 minutes to your morning commute from 1960 into downtown. And that is your time saver traffic report. We have your complete weather and traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 2s. Your next update at 6:42.
Our big story this morning, the brutal beating that left 1 man dead, another in custody.
It happened around 8:30 last night on the 15,000 block of Spencer near Highway 6. Local 2 Today reporter Priscilla Kuehnle is live there now with the latest. Priscilla?
Sarah, authorities have already made an arrest in this crime, and they've charged him. It is a neighbor who lives at this apartment complex. The beating death took place in this unit behind me here at the Copper Mill Apartments at about 8:30 last night. Detectives have been here all night long. They left at about 4:45 this morning. They were gathering evidence, dusting for fingerprints, and taking photos. The Harris County Sheriff's Department says 21-year-old Daniel Herrera died last night after a neighbor bludgeoned him to death inside his apartment complex. Authorities concluded that Daniel Herrera died of head trauma after finding his body inside.
They found him to be dead on the scene. He was treated by EMS personnel, and they couldn't revive him.
Officers arrested 27-year-old Walter Grayson. Authorities say he and the victim were arguing before the deadly beating took place, and detectives tell us that Grayson has actually confessed to this crime. There's no word on what the two were actually arguing about, but detectives say that they had been acquaintances and they did know each other. Detectives are also telling us that Grayson has had a brush with the law in the past. Back in 1996, he was charged with a felony, and this is still under investigation this morning. We're live in Northwest Harris County. I'm Priscilla Kuehnle, Local 2 News.
Priscilla, do we know who first found Herrera's body?
We do. It was actually Herrera's girlfriend. The two lived together in this apartment complex. She's the one who came home, found his body, and called 911.
All right. Thank you, Priscilla Kuehnle, reporting live in Northwest Harris County this morning.
The body of a Houston man murdered while heading back to the United States from Mexico will be returned to Houston today.
A Florida teen and a woman were also traveling with the victim when the attack happened. Mexican authorities say that 22-year-old Ronaldo Vasquez Jr., 16-year-old Ashley Dininger, and 22-year-old Vanessa Burgos were robbed last Thursday while traveling down a deserted road in southern Mexico. Vasquez and Dininger were killed, but Burgos was spared when she told the attackers that she was pregnant.
She says she got on her knees. She begged, please don't kill me. I have a baby. She's having a little girl.
Mexican authorities say that the 3 suspects stole the van that the victims were in and later caught that van when it broke down. Well, the 3 American citizens were robbed on a road in the state of Guerrero. Mexican authorities say that the quiet country road like that one, they're sites of regular abductions and monthly homicides.
Well, a man charged with a deadly accident is heading to court today. The trial of Alexander Escobar is set to begin today. Detectives say he and several other men got into an argument with 3 men at a club on Country Creek last October. And they say that's when Escobar jumped into a truck and ran over the 3 men, killing one of them. The 2 other victims were injured, one seriously. Jury selection begins today for a former Conroe Elementary School teacher accused of soliciting a minor for sex over the internet. Hogan Brooks pleaded not guilty to those charges. He was arrested back in August after a sting operation. If convicted, Brooks could face up to 30 years behind bars.
Past and present firefighters in the Houston area were honored during a celebration downtown. The St. Florian Society's 8th annual Mass celebrating firefighters took place yesterday at the Sacred Heart Co-Cathedral. Employees of fire departments and their families came out to honor the firefighters from the Houston and Galveston area that have died in this past year. There was also a special award presentation from the St. Florian Society. Well, fire devastates a Houston landmark.
The Bill Mirage Dance Hall on West 34th was destroyed when flames quickly devoured the 56-year-old building early yesterday morning. Many felt compelled to come see that rubble left behind, like one Houston couple who met at the dance hall. They've now been married 26 years.
Just here with a group of friends looking for a good dancer. Yeah, and he fit that criteria, so it's kind of why we hit it off.
All the memories we've had here and all the fun times we've had, and this place is irreplaceable in my opinion. There isn't another place like it.
Investigators say an electrical problem started that fire.
An update now to a developing story for you. Real estate heir Robert Durst is heading back to court today. Durst is scheduled for a bond and magistrate hearing in Philadelphia. Durst has pleaded not guilty to 2 federal firearms charges. Those charges stem from the November 2001 when Durst was caught jumping bond after he was charged with murdering his neighbor, Morris Black. Investigators say that Durst had 2 guns and ammunition in his car when he was caught. He was later acquitted of murder charges.
Closing arguments are expected to be made today in the first criminal trial to emerge from Enron's boom to bust. 4 former Merrill Lynch executives and 2 former mid-level Enron execs are on trial for fraud and conspiracy from the alleged sham sale of 3 power-producing barges in 1999. This case could be in the jury's hands by Wednesday.
New this morning, more investigations are underway now regarding Halliburton's involvement in the effort to rebuild Iraq. The Pentagon is now looking into claims by a top Army contracting official that the company won billion-dollar contracts that others weren't allowed to bid on. Halliburton has been a focus of this election year because Vice President Dick Cheney is a former chief executive officer and continues to receive compensation from the company.
Well, new this morning, the price of getting an education at Baylor University is going up. The school's regents have approved a more than 6% tuition increase for next year's incoming students. The $1,150 per year increase brings tuition for new students to $19,050. Regents have also approved a price hike for some graduate school students and law school students as well.
Time now is 6:37, 73 degrees outside.
The drug designed to ease the pain of Alzheimer's may be able to fight something much worse. We've got that story straight ahead.
And if you're like me, you probably loved the Astro season this year.
Well, now we can all get out and thank them for it. Find out how next.
And a look at our weather this afternoon for our afternoon drive. 89 and a chance of some showers. Wes is in with our full forecast up next.
Here's a look at today's Local 2 travel forecast. Have a safe trip. We'll be right back with more Local 2 Today.
Travel weather on Local 2 News is sponsored in part by Houston Marriott Westchase.
On November 2nd, your Decision 2004 vote will count, and you can count on Local 2 for total election coverage. Local 2 is joining forces with the top political minds of NBC. Brokaw, Russert, Matthews. Your election experts team up with your local news experts for national and local analysis on the campaign trail, at the polls, and everywhere you need us to be. Local 2 and NBC, your Decision 2004 coverage leaders, where local news comes first.
Time Warner Digital Cable lets you watch what you want when you want. Roadrunner High-Speed Online lets you get online at speeds up to 70 times faster than dial-up and up to twice as fast as DSL standard package. Let Time Warner Cable put time on your side. Get Roadrunner for only $29.95 a month for the first 6 months when you also have digital cable. Call today, 713-341-1000. Time Warner Cable. Now anything's possible.
The new ES. Refined with a passion. At your Houston area Lexus dealer.
gift card. Every day, every way.
Yoga and Pilates, free with every 24-hour fitness membership, no matter who you are. At 24-Hour Fitness, we have something for everyone. And if you call 1-800-204-2400 now, you'll get 50% off your enrollment and renewal fees. But hurry, this offer ends soon. 24-Hour Fitness, making fitness easy for everyone. You to the power of 24.
Nissan parts are engineered specifically for your vehicle. So why trust your vehicle to anyone less than a Nissan expert? Nissan Genuine Service and Parts, only at your Nissan dealer.
Let's take a... Going on Wall Street, the Dow is down more than 107 points at 9,757. The Nasdaq also down more than 38 points to close at 1,915. Now, overseas on the Nikkei, prices closed down more than 197 points in early trading to 10,659.
Prostate cancer, most men are uncomfortable with the subject or more likely with the examination. Well, today on Local 2 at 5, there could be a way to get tested without leaving the comfort of your own home. Dominique Saxa has a preview.
Oftentimes, the hardest part of testing men for signs of prostate cancer is getting them to the doctor in the first place. Now, men may soon be able to take matters into their own hands with an at-home kit. We'll tell you how it works and when it may be available today on Local 2 at 5.
Well, today you can take part in a citywide celebration that's honoring the Astros.
This is a great opportunity to get out and say thanks for a great season. This rally begins today at noon at City Hall. Fans, players, and coaches will all be there. If you can't make it, you can watch Local 2 at noon for live coverage. The Humane Society will hold its Par 4 Pets golf tournament in silent auction today. The event is benefiting homeless and abused animals. It takes place at the Wildcat Golf Club at the 12,000 Alameda Road today at noon. Anchor Dominique Saxa will be there as part of the live auction to be a part of that event to at least get you motivated to bid. If you'd like to donate, call 713-433-6421.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes on the 2s.
And speaking of the Humane Society, I think you have a song dedicated to radar coming up.
Yeah, a great sunshine visit on Friday. We'll meet our winner here in a second, as well as talk about all this warm weather. It's not going away, at least this work week. And to help us get to the weather wall, we head over to the Klein School District. All right, and there is the choir right there, actually up at Kuehnle Elementary School side of our Sunshine Award today. We'll introduce you to our winner here in just a second. As for the weather today, well, I don't need to reintroduce you to the heat. It is back. The rain from the weekend has left us. We'll get temperatures up to around 85 by lunchtime. We'll be around 90. I guarantee you it will feel like that by this afternoon. And for daytime highs, maybe a little cooler this morning than it was last week at times. 73 at both airports. 80 degrees down on the island, but you will also notice it's humid outside. Our dew points remain in the 70s, so the amount of moisture in the air is still very high. As long as that number's in the 70s, you know it's going to be high. I think we'll lose out on some of the humidity this weekend, but it will be here most of this week. And warm weather for most of the eastern half of the state. There's some cooler weather up to the north. Amarillo at 44. That sure sounds nice, doesn't it? There's that frontal boundary. Unfortunately, it will not make it into our area because of this ridge of high pressure that will pretty much stay in place all week long, keeping any rain chances, and for that matter, most of the cloud cover out of here, keeping things humid and warm, so above normal temperatures all week long. And by the way, keep in mind, today our normal high dropped down to 79, so we're 10 degrees above normal most of this week. Overnight lows will stay in the mid to lower 70s, and a cold front comes through this weekend, the last weekend of October, so that means it's Halloween on Sunday, don't forget that. And also we're turning our clocks back, the end of daylight saving time, Saturday night into Sunday morning. All right, it's Sunshine Award time, and as I mentioned, we were up in the Klein School District at Kuehnle Elementary School, where we awarded Jimmy Ruth Arceneaux, the Teacher's Aide and Educational Secretary, her Sunshine Award and Kroger gift certificate, and the choir was on hand, like I said, with a little song for our friend Radar.
It's a shame, it's a shame, it's a doggone shame when Radar has to stay inside today. Woof, woof.
All right, one of the many performances. The kids were very excited. Miss JR's been there at the school for some 11 years at the 15-year-old school. They all had a rose. Each class gave her a single rose to help her honor her. And the song goes on to say, we missed Radar, and it's such a shame when he's a very special guy. And they wrote a whole song. Yeah, they wrote a whole song.
I love when he wags his shaggy tail, it makes our heart sing.
Yes.
That's very
rough.
cute.
You got to go woof, woof.
I was going to leave out the woof woof, but that's okay.
Thank you for that song, and congratulations to Miss JR.
A lot of love at that song, at that school, and that song as well.
Do you want to pick up, or you and Don want to?
No. Don Armstrong, a lot of love for you too.
No, but I'll tell you what, we need to hear the whole thing at 4 o'clock